Okay, hello and good morning. Let's take a look at today's bell work, okay? And what we're dealing with here is inequalities, and we were taught two rules yesterday, okay? Number one, if the absolute value, if the inequality points towards the absolute value, then it's called a compound inequality, where this is squeezed in between a plus and a minus. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is where the absolute value or the inequality faces away. If it faces away, it's going to be the same and then the opposite. Well, the same is going to be x is greater than 5, but the opposite, you got to change all of that. So it's going to be x is less than a negative 5. Okay? You got to switch that sign and change that sign right there. And then you work them out. Okay, well, it's pretty much all you can do here. So let's take a look at your bell work. So on this one right here, it faces towards it, the inequality does, and so what you want to do is do a compound. So you want to do x plus 4 and squeeze it in between a minus and a plus. And so what you're going to do here is subtract 4 from all three sides. So that's going to give you a negative 12. This gives you x. This gives you 4. So your graph is between negative 12 and 4. And since there's a line under there, you've got to color that in, both of those, and it goes that way. And that's your answer. Let's try another one. This one right here, well, you got to first get the absolute value by itself. So you want to add 1 to both sides. So you're going to get 2 absolute value of 10x plus 7 is greater than, that's going to be 74. Now you're going to divide by 2. And then half of 70 is 35. I think it's 37 right here. Okay, so now it points away, so it's going to be the same and opposite. Okay, that's the way I memorize it. So the same is going to be this, and then the opposite is going to be this, where you switch the sign and put a negative. And then you got to work these out. So you're going to subtract 7 and divide by 10. Here you're going to subtract 7 and divide by 10. And that's how you do it. Today's worksheet looks like this. And I want you to show me the work just like I did. And then I want you to graph it. Okay? So there is today's worksheet. If you can't be with us, there it is. All right, let's turn our attention to geometry. All right, so on geometry, let's work some of these. Now, I gave you some definitions that you need to know for the EOC. A point is a location, and it has no size. There's no such thing as a fat point or a skinny point. An angle is the union of two rays. Union of two rays at a common point called the vertex. So if you put these two together, you end up with an angle. And that point is called the vertex. Okay, like your elbow. A segment is, it's part of a line, but it has two endpoints. And all points here are collinear. Let's talk about area of the sector. I gave you this, a worksheet. Remember, anything with area is going to be pi radius squared because that is the area of a circle. Make sure you memorize that. Well, we don't want the whole circle. We only want a fraction of the circle. So the degree is 20, so you want to put 20 out of 360. That's going to give you your fraction times pi, and then times the radius squared. So that's 7 times 7. And when you do that, you get your answer. Remember, if you borrow a calculator, to put it back in that blue folder on the wall. And if you have some at home, bring them back. All right, so let's take a look. Clear it out. I'm going to have 20 times 3.14 times 7 times 7, press equals, divide by 360. And when I do, I get 8.5. So it's going to be 8.5 square inches because it's area. So the area of that slice of pizza, including the crust, is 8.5 square inches. Let's talk about today's work on a new sheet of paper. Copy all of this down. This is 10.2. We're talking about tangent lines. What is a tangent line? Well, a tangent line to a circle. So if you draw a circle and you put a point outside the circle and you hit the circle at one point, that's called a tangent line. And a tangent line is perpendicular to the radius. Okay? So the tangent line is always perpendicular. Also, if you have another tangent line from the same point, but on the other side of the circle, then this distance is equal to that distance. That's a theorem, and I'm going to give you that one in a minute. Okay, so that point right there is called the point of tangency, and it's perpendicular to the radius. So take a look here. The question is this really a perpendicular? Is it really tangent? Well, the question, we'll go ahead and put a dot here like this to see if it is. We're going to put the legs together and see if it equals the hypotenuse. Now, some people are like, well, wait a second now, you don't have the whole hypotenuse. Well, you do, because this out piece is 4 outside the circle, that segment, but this piece right here is a radius, the same as that radius. So put a 6 right there. So the actual distance from here to here, the hypotenuse is 10. Make sure you know that because you've got to add those two up. So we're going to do Pythagorean's theorem and see if it is a tangent. So it's going to be leg squared, a squared plus b squared. Does that equal c squared? And I like using 3 lines because we're checking. So this is 36 plus 81. Does that equal 100? 10 times 10. And the answer is no. This side is bigger. Okay, so to be exact, 81 plus 36 is 117. 117 does not equal 100, therefore it is not a tangent. So AB segment is not tangent. If it was tangent, this side would be equal to that side. All right, so that's one of the ones you have on today's work. Is it a tangent? Draw this circle here. Now notice that this one is a tangent. Okay, color your box. You're going to do Pythagorean's theorem again, so watch what I do. It's going to be x squared plus 24 squared is equal to, now your hypotenuse is x plus 18. So you're going to have to do x plus 18 quantity squared. You're going to have to do a process called FOIL, so watch carefully. So x squared plus 24 times 24, let's see what that is. That gives me 576 equals. Here you're going to do FOIL, so put x plus 18. If you didn't learn FOIL before, make sure you pay attention. So here you're going to get x times x is x squared. This times this is 18x, and then you move to the next one, which is 18x plus, and then you move to this one, which is going to be 18 times 18, whatever that is. So 18 squared is 324. All right, so let's see what we have here. So now we have x squared plus 576. Let me rewrite that. X squared plus 576 is equal to x squared. This right here gives me 36x, 18 plus 18, and then plus 324. Okay, so draw your line. You see how you have x squared and x squared, but they're on opposite sides? You're going to subtract x squared, and these cancel out, thankfully. If they did not subtract out, you would have to use the quadratic equation. Anyhow, so you're going to get 36x plus 324. You're going to go ahead and subtract 324. Now it's just a two-step equation. So you're going to subtract 324. So you're going to take 576 minus 324, press equals, and you get 252 on this side. It's equal to 36x. And then you're going to divide by 36, and you're going to get x equals 7. Okay? So there it is, and that's how you do that problem. Okay? Again, You're going to do Pythagorean's theorem. You're going to add up this piece plus that piece to get the whole hypotenuse. You're going to do FOIL. Your x squareds cancel out, and then you work it out. All right, that's one of your problems today. So let's go on to another one. Copy this one down. We're almost done. Here it's saying they're tangent, so this one is equal to this one. The question is, let me see what the question is. I think the question was to find x. Okay, so we're trying to find x. Well, remember, if it's tangent, these are 90 degrees. So they're 90 degrees. So it's 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it equals 360. Remember that formula, n minus 2 times 180? Okay, well, if it's got 4 sides, it equals 360. So you're going to take 140 plus 90 plus x plus 90 is equal to 360. And if you work that out, you get your answer. Remember, a tangent, as soon as you see that, remember 90 degrees. Okay, so look here. Take 360 minus 90 minus 90 minus 140, and you should get 40 degrees. So x equals 40 degrees. So this angle is a 40-degree angle. There it is. One more, last one here. Okay, draw that diagram. They want you to find the perimeter. Well, watch this. Since this is a point and this is a point of tangency and so is this one, I know because they're 90 degrees, these are equal. Same thing here. This one is equal to that one. This one is equal to that one. And this one is equal to that one. If you add up all of that, you get your perimeter. So it's going to be 7 plus 7 is 14. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 plus 6 is 12. Add all of that up and you get your answer. Here's your work for today. 10.2, page 450, 128. If you get stuck, ask. But what I'd like you to do is look back at your examples and try to figure it out. All right, good luck, and I'll see you in class.